What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, Octagon Nation. We have a fun-filled episode today for you. A lot of laughs in store, and I'm sure you're asking yourself, what are we going to be talking about? What are we going to be diving into tonight? Well, that's funny.
I'm glad you asked.
I'm glad you asked. We're going to look at Brian Ortega and how big of an absolute freak he is. This guy is a fucking weirdo, and I absolutely love it. I am obsessed with it. Brian Ortega is the fucking boy. He is my spirit animal. He's the eagle that went to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro, rubbed his beak, filed down his beak. Now he's got a new beak, and he's coming for your ass. All right, so let's get right into it. This is an old clip that we just played, but I think it's funny. It'll set the tone for our episode today, and it'll set the tone.
The rebirth is a nature process that the eagle goes through. The eagle lives for 70 years. At the 40-year mark, the eagle loses the sharpness of its beak. The feathers aren't as good, and its talons are weak. So it has a choice. The choice is to die, keep doing what you're doing, living the way you are, or isolate yourself way up in the mountain.
Okay. Eagles live till 70 years. Let's take a look. At 40 years, they lose their beak. Bald eagle lifespan, 20 to 30 years. Crowned eagle, 14 years. Not sure who's educating our boy T-City, but that's regardless of the point. Anyway, the guy's the GOAT. That's just one instance. Now let's get into the recent stuff that we've been seeing. These weird posts from Brian Ortega, his weird behavior at the press conference. This guy's an absolute freak, and I fucking love it. The Eagles live for 70 years in his fucking brain, okay? At 40, they lose their beaks, okay? You know how deers lose their antlers? Yeah? Gecko loses its tail and regrows it, okay? Well, guess what? The eagle loses its full fucking beak at age 40. Just like Brian Ortega. He lost his beak. He lost his mojo. But he's got it fucking back. Diego Lopez, get fucked. This guy's on another level, bro. Different wavelengths upstairs. Okay? This shit ain't working correctly. All right? You're fucked. This was one of his only questions at the press conference yesterday. UFC 306, Noche UFC press conference. One of Brian Ortega's only questions, and this was his response, made absolutely no sense, completely incomprehensible, completely buffoonery. I don't even know what to call it. Incomprehensible. That's all I can think of. Let's take a look at our boy, the Eagle.
Of great fights on this card, but when
I'm glad you asked.
people are looking at the Mexican fighting style, two guys going in there and having a firefight, do you believe that it's you and Diego who could give that to the fans on Saturday?
Absolutely, 1,000%. If I was to tell you they don't back out on the striking and they don't back out on the grappling, you don't know who I'm talking about. It's him and me. Our styles is meant for war.
Who's they? Who's who? Who's me? Who's him? What the fuck are you talking about, Eagle? You bump your head? Huh? You smack your fucking head against a rock, too? When you were shaving down your beak? Huh, beaky? Filing down the old beak? You slam your fucking skull into the rock? You're off your rocker. He who doesn't strike or doesn't want to go jiu-jitsu against he who doesn't want to do jiu-jitsu. Nobody knows who I'm talking about. But that's me. That's him. We do anything. Get ready for war tomorrow night. The Eagle versus the Falcon. Okay? We each live till 85. I'm glad you asked. I know I got good sunglasses, okay? They're my hater blockers. I don't care about Tracy Cortez. I just got back with my wife. When was I with my wife originally? I don't fucking know. I'm the Eagle. I fly all around. It's called migration. Look it up, okay? It's a real fucking thing.
You guys won't get a war tonight or Saturday night.
You guys are going to get a war tonight. You know why? Because I'm high on drugs. I'm on LSD. Diego, what you on? What you on, Diego? Oh, you're on Dilaudid? I got this motherfucker. You guys are going to have a war tonight. Nobody wants to do jiu-jitsu. Nobody wants to strike. And nobody knows who the fuck I'm talking about. But I'm going to fuck this man up tonight, baby. Yeah. Woohoo. I'm glad you asked.
I'm glad you asked.
Thank you, Ortega. Great input at the press conference. Classic Ortega. Thank you so much for your diligent input, your thoughtfulness and mindfulness. Very deep, very deep. Very deep, very deep, very deep. All right, let's get into his recent training footage for this fight. Hold on one second. All right, Brian Ortega's unorthodox training routine. We all thought Tony Ferguson was a bit strange. We thought Tony Ferguson was a bit weird, huh? Tony Ferguson owns bearded dragons and French bulldogs and puts them up on Instagram constantly. But he's not the eagle. He doesn't live 70 years and lose his beak and then file it down on a fucking rock. Okay? And he who doesn't like jiu-jitsu and he who doesn't like striking, that couldn't be us because we're about to have a war tonight. Let's look at the unorthodox training routine of Sir Brian Ortega. Oh, he's doing the Dontel Maze. Oh. Ground and pound, ground and pound. Oh, standing TKO. Ref. No, don't tell me not enough action. No, fuck off, Mark Smith. No, fuck off, Tyone. Hey. Diego with that hair, mamacita. Oh, Noche. Ha. Woo, is that tequila? This is Brian Ortega's finishing maneuver, the hip thruster. Oh, shite. It's like Dricus Duplessis against Darren Till. Just can't get out of there, you know? He's just stuck up against the fucking wall, yeah. Come on, Ref. We need to drink that fucking Modelo, yeah. With the leg, too, with the fucking leg. Oh, balls on balls. Balls on balls action. Oh, shit. Oh, look at that fucking head movement. Hey. Working on his fucking ass slaps. Woo, woohoo, woo. Scuba Steve. Is it Brian Ortega, Diego Lopez, or is it Brian Ortega, Scuba Steve? Hey, whoa. Hey. He's testing out his slapping technique. Making sure he can slap that ass correctly. Oh, hey. Oh. The body-to-body suplex. The old body-to-body suplex. You guys know this move. He lulls them to sleep, you know, thinks we're stalling out. We're just getting cardio. Little breaks. I'll get fucked. Let me test out my slapping technique, baby. Oh, that's how I'm going to do it. Oh, Diego. Don't turn around, baby. Oh. Yeah. He's on a whole different level. Ortega plus 150. Bet the house. T-City. Okay, he's reborn. He's re-fucking born. Okay, Yu-Gi-Oh style. Okay, rebirth. What's it called? The fucking thing. To get the monster out of the graveyard. Monster reborn. Well, guess what? Eagle reborn. What's the last clip?
I'm glad you asked.
I'm glad you asked. Brian Ortega has been training in a hyperbolic chamber 3 times a week for 2 months ahead of his fight with Diego Lopez. Even though this is in fucking Vegas. So there's no elevation. Brian Ortega's on a whole different fucking level than these fools. Someone needs to test his brain. Please, organ donor Brian Ortega. I hope you're an organ donor. We need to study your brain. Everyone thinks they need the hyperbolic chambers for elevation. If they're fighting at Salt Lake City, if they're fighting in Denver, if they're fighting in Mexico City, elevation. We need the hyperbolic chamber. We need elevation acclimation. Brian Ortega does it in the fucking desert at sea level. Fuck performance enhancing drugs. TJ Dillashaw, you never thought of this? TJ Dillashaw? That's why your career span was half as mine. And I've got my ass kicked 4 or 5 times now on the brink of death. I had no fucking clue how many fingers Herb Dean was holding up. Fucking 2. Fucking 1, dude. I lost my beak. I didn't lose my eyesight, dude. 2 fucking 1. This guy's on a different level. He's evolving the game. He's raising up the game. He's putting the game on a pedestal right now. 2024. I feel like we're in 2034 with Brian Ortega, the Eagle. Fuck Khabib.
And we just installed our hypobaric training chamber. We're really excited about it. It's an amazing piece of technology that's going to perfectly complement everything that the UFC is trying to accomplish.
The lead chamber operator. How do you get this job? Somebody look up this motherfucker on LinkedIn. Ryder Rogers. Ryder is his first name. Kind of interesting. First name, Ryder. Maybe Ortega was practicing his clinch work on Ryder before they hopped in the old hyperbolic chamber. I'm glad you asked. Lead chamber operator. Someone look him up on LinkedIn. I want to know the resume. How do you get in this line of work? What is the credentials that you have to be hired as the lead chamber operator? Somebody please look that up for me.
Complement everything that the UFC is trying to accomplish in terms of the health, performance, and longevity of their fighters.
Well, the percentage of O2 doesn't really change in the air. There's less air molecules, like when you go to the top of the mountains. So what this represents is what the body's really feeling.
Of course. Like when you're at the top of the mountain.
3 times a week. Little did everybody know, he's training at 19,000 feet on a bike, on a treadmill, putting the work in.
He's putting the work in for a fight that is not at elevation. This guy's built different. Okay? You know why? Because Eagles like to go high. They like to get high. Just like our boy T-City. And hey, jokes aside, T-City looked pretty good on the scales. I know a lot of people were giving him shit about that photo. That photo was from mid-July. He was not in fight camp yet. He wasn't cutting any weight yet. So that photo is not indicative of his current shape. The guy looks in shape. He looks ready to go. He looks locked in. I know he's a fool. He's an absolute idiot. But I give him a good chance to beat Diego Lopez here. Honestly, I'm 50-50 on this fight. Back when it was booked at UFC 303, I picked T-City, Brian Ortega. A couple weeks ago, I was texting my brother, and I picked Diego Lopez. But at this point in time, I'm 50-50. I don't have a pick. I'll make a pick before the event goes down, before the fight happens. Check out my Twitter, my X account, at Octagon-Jordan. Check it out. Give me a follow. I'll post my official pick for this fight before it happens, probably like 1, 2 o'clock on Saturday. So keep an eye out for that, but I'm leaning T-City, to be honest with you. He looks in great shape. He's the Eagle. He's filed down his beak. He's training his hips. He's humping people in the clinch. He's training at elevation for a Vegas fight. He's talking in the third person, first person, second person, fourth person at the press conference. I mean, this guy's living in an alternate reality. Do I think he's going to win?
I'm glad you asked.
Ah!